Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we continue the story of Anna and Mark. Many of you are waiting to see if they can fix their broken connection. Let's listen to the next part of their story. Coffee, soft music, and drawing late at night. My life looks peaceful from the outside, but inside there is a story I have never truly left behind. Have you ever felt lonely even when someone is sitting right next to you? This is a story about the distance we create when we stop looking at each other and start looking at our screens. Anna and Mark have been married for 7 years. To the world, they are a perfect couple. They live in a beautiful house, they have good jobs, and they always smile in their Facebook photos. But behind the closed doors of their home, the reality is very different. Silence has become the third person in their marriage. It was a typical Friday evening. The rain was tapping gently against the window. Dinner was over. Anna was sitting on the left side of the sofa, and Mark was on the right. There were only 2 meters between them, but it felt like 2,000 miles. Mark was scrolling through his news feed, his thumb moving rhythmically up and down. Anna was checking her Instagram, looking at pictures of other people's happy lives. The only sound in the room was the ticking of the clock and the occasional click of a phone being turned off. Anna looked up from her screen for a moment. She watched Mark. His face was lit by the blue light of his phone. He looked so close, yet he was in another world. She wanted to say something. She wanted to tell him about the funny thing that happened at work. She wanted to tell him that she missed his laugh, but she didn't speak. Why? Because she was afraid of the silence that would follow if he didn't really listen. "Are you busy?" she thought about asking. But he looked so focused on his screen. It was as if the phone was a shield, protecting him from having to have a real conversation. Anna sighed quietly and looked back at her own phone. The invisible wall was growing higher every day. "I'm going to bed," Mark said suddenly, not looking up. "Okay," Anna replied, her eyes still on her screen. "No. How was your day?" "No. I love you." Just a cold announcement of a routine. As she sat alone in the living room, Anna realized that they weren't sharing a life anymore. They were just sharing a house. Anna stayed in the living room after Mark went to bed. The house was very quiet. She opened a wooden box under the coffee table. Inside, there were many old photos. She picked up one photo from 7 years ago. It was their wedding day. In the photo, Mark was looking at her like she was the only person in the world. They were both laughing. They didn't have phones in their hands. They only had each other. "Do you remember?" she whispered to the empty room. In the beginning, everything was different. They used to talk for hours. They talked about their dreams, their fears, and their favorite movies. Even when they were eating a simple sandwich in the park, it felt like a grand dinner. Mark used to tell her, "Anna, I can listen to your voice forever." Back then, the silence was only for kissing, not for ignoring. Anna looked around the modern living room. They have a bigger TV now. They have expensive phones. They have everything they wanted back then. But something is missing. When did they stop talking? It happened slowly. First, they started checking emails during dinner. Then, they started watching videos instead of talking before bed. Now, the phones are more important than the person sitting on the sofa. She remembered a night 3 years ago. They went to a beautiful restaurant for their anniversary. But Mark spent 30 minutes taking the perfect photo of the food. Then he spent another hour reading comments on his phone. Anna sat there, eating her cold pasta, feeling like a ghost. That was the night she stopped trying to talk. She started looking at her phone too. It was easier than feeling lonely while sitting with him. Anna put the photo back in the box. Her heart felt heavy. She wondered if Mark also remembered those days. Does he miss the old Anna? Or is he happy with the silence? She looked at the bedroom door. It was closed. The man she loved was just behind that door, but he felt like a stranger from a different country. The next morning was Saturday. The sun was shining, but inside the house, it felt cold. Anna was making eggs in the kitchen. Mark walked in, but he didn't say, "Good morning." He immediately sat at the table and opened his phone to read the news. Anna put a plate in front of him. "Mark, do you want to go to the park today?" Anna asked quietly. Mark didn't look up. He was typing something. "Maybe later," he said. "I have a lot of emails to answer." Anna felt a small fire of anger in her heart. "It's Saturday, Mark. You are always busy with your phone." Mark finally looked up. He looked tired and annoyed. "I am working for our future, Anna. These emails are important. Why are you complaining?" Anna shook her head. "I am not complaining about work. I am complaining about us. We don't talk anymore." "We are talking right now?" Mark raised his voice a little. Then his phone buzzed. Someone called him. He stood up and walked into the other room to answer the call. Anna stood alone in the kitchen. The eggs on the plate were getting cold. She realized that even when they spoke, they didn't understand each other. Mark stayed in his office for 3 hours. Anna tried to clean the house, but she felt very sad. She remembered how they used to cook together on Saturdays. They used to dance in the kitchen. Now, the only sound in the kitchen was the noise of the refrigerator. She went to the office door. She wanted to say sorry. She wanted to hug him. But when she opened the door, Mark was laughing. He wasn't working. He was watching a funny video on YouTube. Anna felt like a knife hit her heart. He can laugh at a video, but he cannot smile at me, she thought. She closed the door quietly. She didn't say anything. She went to the bedroom and lay down. She picked up her own phone and started scrolling. If Mark didn't want to talk to her, she would find someone else to talk to online. The gap between them was now wider than ever. On Saturday evening, the rain became a big storm. The wind was very loud. Suddenly, the lights in the house went out. "Everything is black," Anna cried out from the living room. Mark came out of his office with his phone's flashlight. "The power is gone," Mark said. "And the internet is not working." For the first time in a long time, their phones were useless. They couldn't scroll. They couldn't watch videos. They were alone in the dark. Mark lit a small candle and put it on the table. They sat together in the candlelight. Without the blue light of their phones, they had to look at each other. In the soft yellow light, Mark saw that Anna looked very sad. Her eyes were red. "Anna, are you okay?" he asked softly. Anna didn't answer immediately. She just looked at the candle. Suddenly, there was a loud noise from the roof. A tree branch hit the house. Anna jumped and grabbed Mark's hand. She was shaking. Mark held her hand tightly. At that moment, he didn't think about his emails. He didn't think about YouTube. He only thought about the woman in front of him. "I am sorry," Mark whispered in the dark. Anna looked at him. "For what?" she asked. "For being away even when I was home," he said. "I was looking at the world through a small screen, but I forgot to look at you." The storm continued outside, but inside, the silence was different now. It wasn't an ignoring silence. It was a listening silence. Anna leaned her head on Mark's shoulder. "I missed you, Mark," she said. "I missed us." The next morning, the sun came out. The storm was over. The power returned to the house, and the lights came on. But Mark didn't reach for his phone. Anna didn't check her Instagram. They sat at the kitchen table and looked at each other. The room was quiet, but it was a warm, happy silence. "Anna," Mark said, holding her hand. "I made a decision. From now on, no phones during breakfast or dinner. No phones when we are in the living room together. I want to see your face. Not a screen." Anna smiled, and this time her eyes were shining. "I agree," she said. "I want that too." They started small. They went for a walk in the park without their phones. At first, it felt strange. Mark felt like his pocket was empty. Anna felt like she was missing something. But then they heard the birds. They felt the wind. They started talking about things they hadn't discussed in years. They laughed at a joke Mark made. It was a real laugh, not an emoji. Weeks passed. Their house started to feel like a home again. They cooked together. They played board games. Sometimes they just sat and talked about their day. Mark realized that the emails could wait. Anna realized that she didn't need to see other people's lives to be happy. The invisible wall was gone. They were a team again. Love is not just about living in the same house. It is about being present. Technology can connect us to the whole world, but it can also make us strangers to the people we love most. Don't wait for a storm to turn off the lights. Turn off your phone today and look at the person next to you. Because the best stories are the ones we live, not the ones we scroll. Some loves are simple and some are complicated. But the best kind of love is the one that teaches you how to be brave, even if it means putting down your phone to say, "I love you." True connection requires attention. Real love happens in the moments when we put away our distractions and focus on each other. Thank you so much for following the story of Anna and Mark. I hope it reminds you to spend more time with your loved ones today. What do you think about their story? Do you have a phone-free time in your house? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more English stories. See you in the next video.